You've sat through countless courtroom scenes, movies, TV, real trials, and every single time, without fail, the judge is wearing black. Not once did that feel strange to you. But think about it. We question everything about the justice system. Verdicts, sentences, corruption. Yet that black robe? Never once questioned. And the more I thought about it, the more that bothered me. So today, we're going straight to the source. Ladies and gentlemen, the robe itself.
When a judge walks in, everyone in that courtroom stands up. You always thought that was for him. It wasn't. It's always been for me. I know nobody ever told you that. I've been in that courtroom for 400 years, and not once has anyone stopped to ask who I actually am. So today, I'll fix that. Let's start at the beginning. I wasn't always this color. Hard to believe, I know, but go back far enough and I was extraordinary. Deep scarlet reds, rich violets, forest greens. English judges wore me like a language. Scarlet for high court, violet for winter, green for summer. The courtroom wasn't just a legal space back then, it was a visual system. And I was how you read it. Color meant rank, color meant occasion. Color told everyone in that room exactly who they were dealing with, before a single word was spoken. And then, one woman died, and I was never the same again. When Queen Mary II died, the entire country mourned, deeply, formally, the way empires mourn their monarchs. Judges, as servants of the crown, did what the moment demanded. They dressed in black. And then the mourning ended. But I didn't go away, because something unexpected happened in those months of grief. Inside a courtroom, black started doing something scarlet never could. It felt heavier, more final, like the decision made in that room couldn't be undone, like the law itself had a color. And this was it. The accident became a preference. The preference became a habit. The habit became 400 years of unquestioned tradition. And here I am. But that's only half the story. Because England keeping me after a period of mourning, that makes sense.
What doesn't make sense is what happened next across an ocean in a country that had just fought a bloody war to escape everything England stood for. They kept me too. Why? Because a revolution had just happened. America, a brand new country, still figuring out what it even was. And one of the first arguments on the table, embarrassingly, was what the judges should wear. Some wanted color because prestige needs to look like prestige. Others wanted nothing at all. And then there was John Marshall, Chief Justice of the United States. He made a decision so quiet that nobody fully appreciated it at the time. He said every judge should wear the same color, plain black with same cuts, and look exactly the same. But this wasn't laziness. This was a political statement dressed as a wardrobe choice. His thinking was almost radical for the era. In a democracy, the law has to be bigger than the man holding it. A judge in scarlet looks like someone important. A judge in black looks like the law itself. And that's your answer. That's why I'm black. Not because of a queen's death, not because of habit, because black doesn't have a face, and justice was never supposed to have one either. Every other uniform in the world is designed to identify the person wearing it. A police officer, you can read their rank, their badge, their name. A soldier, you can see their medals, their unit, their entire history. But a judge? I hide all of it. Their wealth, their background, their identity, everything that makes them human. Gone the moment they put me on. That wasn't an accident. That was the entire point. And what fascinates me most about myself is that. Black does something to the human brain that no other color can. The moment I'm in that courtroom, you stop seeing the person wearing me. You see a position, an institution, something that existed long before this judge and will outlast them completely. I'm not the only one who understood this. Priests, referees, and police all wear me for the same reason. And in a courtroom, that's not a side effect. That's the entire function. Because the moment you see a person up there, with opinions, with biases, with a bad morning, the whole thing starts to feel negotiable. And a courtroom can never afford to feel negotiable. And that's exactly why I kept spreading. Wherever British law went, I followed. New countries, former colonies, young governments trying to build something that felt serious and permanent. Some even added wigs on top of me, just to make sure you really couldn't see the person underneath. Not everyone kept me, though. In some countries, judges wear suits. Their argument, I make justice feel intimidating and out of reach. And maybe they're right. But take me off and see what happens. The moment I'm gone, there's no position, no institution, no system, just a person sitting up there with an opinion. And that's what I've been hiding for 400 years. Now you know.
And there you have it.
Next time you see a judge walk into that courtroom, you'll know he, person, is not who's in control. It's the robe he's wearing. And the same robe has been quietly running the room for 400 years without ever being questioned. Until now. I am sure you and me, we will never look at the judge and his robe in the same way ever again. So welcome. This is Whysdomia, where ordinary things get the stories they deserve. If this made you look twice at something you use every day, subscribe and stay curious. Because once you start asking why, the world gets a lot more interesting.